welcome to my first ever video on this channel. I would say it's my first ever YouTube video, but I actually posted a YouTube video back in 2009 on a different channel of me getting my nose pierced. That actually, I think it got like 500,000 views. Anyway, I'm back. Welcome to this channel. We're gonna talk about books. And today specifically, we're gonna talk about some books that I picked up thrifting. I love buying used books. My sister and I are both big readers. We try and go thrifting a couple times a month-ish, and I have not been buying books recently. I've been doing really well, but this time, that is not the case. I went a little crazy, so I thought it'd be fun to show all of the books that I picked up at my local thrift stores. I actually have grown to really prefer used books. I rarely find myself going to like a Barnes & Noble or buying books on Amazon because I just love used books. I love the way they look, I love the way they feel. If they have an annotation or an inscription, like if they were a gift for someone at some point, I love that shit. So we're gonna just run through, I think I have like 11 books or so. Let's just jump right into it. Look, I know what you're thinking. This is a little bit pretentious. Having this type of book on your shelf and acting like you read these kind of books is a little bit much. However, that is just who I am as a person. This is War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. I actually wanted to study English and literature in college, but I opted for something a bit more practical and got a journalism degree. But I would love to just be able to read books like this and have that be my job. Look, reading is not a competition, but I want to be the kind of person who can say that I've read something like this. This edition was just gorgeous. I also have Anna Karenina by Tolstoy on my bookshelf, and one day I'll get to them both. One day, we'll see. Okay, another classic. John Steinbeck, Grapes of Wrath. $2, can't pass up a Penguin Classic Edition. Again, this is a Pulitzer Prize winning classic book. Everyone's heard of it. I don't think I've actually read any Steinbeck. I can't recall, but I just try to collect all of these like must read, really classic books. I just want to read them all in my lifetime. So we have that one. This is Grimm's Fairy Tale, a hardcover edition. This is originally a Barnes & Noble Classics edition, I believe. But if you're not aware, Grimm's Fairy Tales are basically what every Disney movie and Disney story ever made is taken from a Grimm's Fairy Tale. It's not in the best shape, but it also has those, I forget what the pages are when it's, I forget what this is called, when the edges are not all one length, but they're like almost like beveled or something. You can see this edition is not in the best shape, but at the thrift store I was at, these were $3.99, and then you basically buy 4 books and you get one free. So they're kind of, it's basically like they're $2.99. You know what I mean? Girl math. So this one also has an inscription. Like I said, I eat that shit up. To Elmer from Grandma Hardy, Happy Easter 2007. I just love that. Before I get into some more of the fun fantasy stuff, let's just do these like single fiction. Actually, I don't know if these are standalone fictions, but these are just books that if I see the cover, these are all an example of this. Okay, where they have gorgeous covers, and I don't know if they're actually good or not, but when I'm in the store, I basically pull them up on Goodreads, and if they have at least a 3 and up, I will probably grab them because I take Goodreads ratings with a grain of salt. So, you know, for $1.99, if my sister and or I get a read out of this and they look pretty on a shelf, I consider that to be worth it. Okay, so this is The Bird King. Really, really gorgeous cover. If I read the back, it sounds good and it has a decent rating, I'm probably gonna grab it. This one says, steeped in magical realism, enchanting otherworldly trappings, it is primarily a novel of ideas. The Bird King grapples with who we are, how we love, and why we worship, with prose so vivid and original that one can only read it with envy. Sign me up. Gorgeous prose, a fantasy setting, and magical surrealism. I'm here for this. That one was The Bird King. Similar, The Bone Witch. Another one, don't know anything about it, but it seems up your alley, right? Seems like something I would like. The beast raged. It punctured the air with its spite, but the girl was fiercer. Exceptionally written, fantasy world building at its best. This was another one that I'm pretty sure had like at least a 3 or a 4, so I went ahead and grabbed it. Another pretty cover. And then this one I have seen at the thrift store so many times, and I don't know if I should take that as a bad thing. I don't know, but I think this one again had maybe a 4-star rating or better on Goodreads. And it's set in 1969 in New York City's Lower East Side. A magical woman traveling psychic. Like, come on. This says, it's a dazzling family love story and a sweeping novel of remarkable ambition and depth. The immortalist probes the line between destiny and choice, reality and illusion, this world and the next. If you can't tell already, I love magical realism. I love dual timelines. I love anything that has to do with time skipping, multiple realities, multiverses, just anything magical realism, I really love. This one I recognized. This is The Dutch House, another gorgeous hardcover with the edges that I cannot recall the name of it right now. But this one I remember also getting pretty popular on YouTube, maybe back in the day a little bit. I honestly cannot remember, but I don't know anything about this, but it's gorgeous and I want to read it. Okay, so now this next one, I didn't need this book, okay? I have multiple copies of this book. But when you see this man at the thrift store, I'm sorry, but this is The Return of the King with Viggo Mortensen on the cover, and I just couldn't leave it there. I had to have it. I was telling my sister, I was like, I don't need another copy of this. That means I have to collect the rest of the editions from the series in, you know, this cover. And she's like, no, you can just use it as a display. You can just set this up face out on your bookshelf. And then I put that thing in my cart and it's coming home with me. So love that. One of my favorite book trilogies of all time is Lord of the Rings, so, and movies. Then we have a Game of Thrones book. I have the first one, and I believe this is the second, A Song of Ice and Fire, book 2. I have my dad's copy of the first installment in Game of Thrones, and this is one that I don't anticipate me getting to anytime soon, to be quite honest with you, but it is something that I would like to have a full set of. I'm not really particular about the covers. These aren't my favorite, but I am a paperback girly. So when I see these at the thrift store, I usually will just grab them if I don't have them. Okay, we have 4 more books. Apologize if the frame has changed or anything like that, but my camera was overheating, so, you know, we're learning. I think I was talking about this one last. So yeah, just not on a priority for my TBR, but something that I would like to have the full series collected at some point in my life. One I was really excited about because when I find 2 books of the same editions in the same series at the thrift store, you can bet that I'm going to be grabbing both of them. This one is A Discovery of Witches, the All Souls trilogy. I looked these up and they were, I want to say, about a 4.1 or 4.2 on Goodreads. And again, I take that with a grain of salt because I have read some books on Goodreads that are so highly rated and you just don't understand what the hell people are talking about. It's a whole other video. But I find it's a good way to get your bearings of if something is genuinely at least worth your time checking out or not. A Discovery of Witches introduced Diana Bishop, Oxford scholar and reluctant witch, and what? I didn't even read the excerpts on this. I just threw these in my cart. Wow, okay. A witch and a vampire geneticist? You gotta be kidding me. So yeah, those 2, I'm actually gonna be prioritizing these, I think, this fall. Okay, and then lastly, another twofer of 2 books in the same series, back to back, the first and the second edition. This one I've also heard of, but have not, I don't know much about it, and that's The Magicians. I don't know if this is The Magicians like the TV show is based off of. I'll have to look that up. But this is Magicians by Lev Grossman. Let's see, these are both hardcovers, so Magicians and Magician King. and these ones have really pretty spines. Like I said, I'm really a paperback fan, but hardcovers do look really nice on the shelf, and these ones are no exception. So I grabbed those ones as well. I think that's it. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So something that I've actually been obsessed with recently is cataloging all of the books that I own in Notion. So when I am done with this, I'm going to take all of these new to me books that I have and add them to my archive, basically, of books, my home library in digital form on my Notion. I prefer to do that as opposed to just taking pictures or using another separate app, because I use Notion a lot already, actually hyperfixating on it a little bit. And then the next time that I go used book shopping or thrifting or whatever, I can have that on my phone and I can look up specifically if I have multiple copies of that book, if I have it in physical, paperback, hardcover, whatever that may be. It's something that I've been really enjoying doing lately. So if that's something you'd be interested in seeing, how I have my library Notion set up, let me know in the comments. Please subscribe to my channel. It would mean the world to me. Thank you so much for watching my very first video. I hope that you are having a great morning, day, or night, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in the next one.